And just like that, the final episode of the recording session has begun. Welcome back to Wasted Turning Trials and Tribulations. I'm your host, MegaShadowFist. It's like a video game since I suck at commentary. When we last left off, we were presenting evidence we were cross-examining Dahlia. And we're starting off right at the moment where I'm lost, so... Anyway, 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. Okay. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. Let me check, what does a diamond say specifically? Used as ransom for Dahlia, lost to Eagle River 5 years ago. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. I'm not too sure about that. Let me check her profile. Like, what does it say? College student witness. It still says Melissa Foster for some reason. Photograph, identify, okay. I was younger, says victim of the hit. Fell from the bridge, no body found. I guess no legal age is deceased, so shut up. I survived, but why do I like saying that so much all of a sudden? Shut up! I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. I don't exactly know if we could contradict that. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. Okay, hold on to that. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond, so neither of these... After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's true. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. Let's try presenting the Dusky Bridge map. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River? However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said, that's hard to believe. I should have said, that's impossible. Impossible? I asked the court to recall the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind as you have claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why? For all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. You're right, if the events occurred just as the witness has testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What? What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's estimation correct? It's a load of crap is what it is. Now that you mention it, I do remember now when I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious! Order! Order in the court! It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's possible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous! What's so impossible about it? They're gonna ask us to present evidence very soon, I can imagine, so I'm gonna have to save first. Please, pretty please, with sugar and ice cream and negative chocolate. What's negative chocolate? It's chocolate that's negative, of course. Come on, don't be silly. Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record! It does it? Okay, so... panicked and pushed her off from the side. Okay. Dusky Bridge map. Let's check the bridge. Panicked and pushed her off to the side. What exactly would that prove? Stabbed with a knife in the back, died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. That's not gonna do anything for us. $2 million gem, used as ransom for Dahlia, lost to Eagle River 5 years ago. Huh, interesting. Crime photo, that's not gonna do anything for us. Victim's note. Taken by the witness, bridge unchanged for 5 years. Touch check button for details. What are you trying to say exactly? Because your flat logic contradicts the court record. How could, like, are you trying to say, oh, the bridge is too high or something? Like, the guardrails are too high? Maybe? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. Oh, well, he's strong enough to... Well, he was shot, so... I don't know. It can't be a profile. I don't think it can be a profile, so it has to either be the Dusky Bridge map again, or the witness's photo. But I don't understand. I don't know why it'd be the photo, though. Bridge located 40 feet above the river. But... Oh, I mean, we have had to present stuff twice before, haven't we? Maybe we haven't. I don't know. I feel like the answer is very obvious, like glaringly obvious, and I'm overlooking a very vital detail here. I mean, if they're exactly the same 5 years ago, sure. Wrong? Right. Your Honor, all the answers are right here in this photo! Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge! They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. Okay, so I was right in that regard. I was just nervous. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the theories that I come up with are just a load of hogwash, and their game is just gonna come up with something else, and then I'm right, and then it's like, anyway. It would be impossible to push someone off from there! No! But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him, but he was shot in the right arm. Shut up! You could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. Ah! And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne! You jumped to the river, Eagle River, intentionally! What? What is this? Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous! My sister was there to help me! She had her gun in handcuffs! She could have saved me! Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide! Perhaps, but still that's exactly what you did! You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive! This fact alone explains everything! Oh, I didn't get a chance to... This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River! The diamond? Sure. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up to the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. Ugh, No, it can't be. I swear I went into my normal voice right there. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her pocket. Why, that's simply ridiculous! Order! Order! Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such demonic plan? You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised at some of the crazy stuff that kids will do not these days, like, period. This woman is a demon! Mm-hmm. Fine, see, Mia? We're on the same page here. And there was one more person who helped make a demon put demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely! I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia, and then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne! Who is that laughing at a time like this? Forgive me, it's just hilarious. A witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman, Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that... Well, Miss Fey? You might as well say first. I don't believe that I changed Dahlia's voice when she did a personality shift in the first court case, but I don't know. I feel like doing it this time. The problem is that it's kind of very similar to Mia's voice, just a little bit deeper. So it's kind of hard switching between the two. Well, Miss Fey? I don't know. I think I did. Okay. What a joke! You, Miss Fey? Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, a witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are! Is this it? Is it really over? Honestly, I kind of think it is, because normally I'd say no, so it's going to pop out of nowhere and say objection, but in this case, since Edward is technically undefeated, perhaps, maybe, this might really be the end. Maybe. But maybe, what if that's what the game wants us to think? That girl has made a fool of me, and there's nothing I can do about it! Ha! Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that? Mr. Armando! Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured it out? Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right! In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is the one person who can testify to that woman's crimes? Terry Falls. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguises her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? This is not Godot. Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I've got. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way! Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me! Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million. That's not true! Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want to answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago she promised never ever betray each other. Terry. Dahlia! It's true! You are alive! You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad. Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you. I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. Oh yeah. I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness. I'm sorry, I apologize. Water, please, water. Cat dog, need water. Ha! Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. Just don't throw it at him. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitter than hell itself. Blacker than a moonless night. Darker and more bitter than hell itself. That is coffee. Okay, that is false. Cause like they're both at the stand, right? So I'm good. Who Terry Falls saw? That day, 4 p.m. I stopped the car. I was in front of the bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on the bridge. I waited on bridge. I watched my car from bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Faye. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Faye, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to do along with your death sentence? There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. Something's going to happen here. Like, Edgeworth had a flawless record, so we can't win because that would be a plot hole. So what is going to happen? I'm not very confident in this. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of the bridge. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? It was raining, already dark too. You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Falls? Eagle Mountain, that spot, strong memories. Why did he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? She wasn't there, so I waited on the bridge. You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting, I'm used to it. I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question, to find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of the eye. I watched my car from a bridge, I never put no body in that car. You were watching the car? That bridge, other side is broken, nobody can come from there. So, I was watching car. What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came, no car, nothing. Finally, one woman came, she stood in front of me. Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie, it is the truth! It was Valerie, I remembered her face! Wait a minute, if you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification? Sorry, I told a little lie. But the woman I met, she was different from the woman standing here now! She was different, it was Valerie! We talked, then she left. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls! Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago! She said someone needed to take the blame for it! That was all I could think to do! She said that! That's why she lied, got me the death penalty! And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died! It was my fault! But I don't really remember! Maybe I did push her in! It don't matter no more! Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead. But you just saw that she isn't dead! After Valerie talked to me on bridge, nothing left to live for. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia! How can you be so sure? It was raining at that time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. That woman, it wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means a death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder, you'll still do whatever is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her. Mr. Falls! Even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess. Anyway, let's go ahead and save, and then continue, because we haven't quite reached the 30-minute mark yet, so... Let's see here. Continue. From save point. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of bridge. Okay. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. I watched my car from bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. That's not possible. That's not, hold on. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. Hold on. I watched my car from bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my daughter. Okay, so we're gonna have to go back. Because here's the thing, right? If he waited on the bridge, then logic would dictate that looking at the witness's photo, everything would be reversed. Because, you know, we know the angle that the picture was taken. So that means that Dahlia purposefully would have passed by him and put herself right next to the broken part of the bridge, which does not make sense. So which one do we need to present that for? Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. I watched my car from bridge. I never put nobody in that car. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. That day, before I stopped the car, I was in front of the bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. Hold on, we have saved. Just in case we didn't, though, we're gonna save again. Would it be that one? Okay, so hold on, I'm gonna press something and wait for the one where she says, or the one where Mia says there's a contradiction. From save point. Was it this one? I watched my car from the bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Okay, let's go ahead and skip past all this nonsense. Something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? Okay. So it was that one, then finally one woman came just in front of me. I watched my car from bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Alright. Let's go ahead and present the witness's photo to this one, perhaps? Okay. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge? You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? I don't even know how to accurately produce that sound. Like a lot of these onomatopoeias in this game, like the I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to actually do those. Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? Well, that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at that bridge after she did. Mr. Falls? Please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to this special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. We brought a memento to represent our love. A memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under the base of tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. Ladies and gentlemen, if you recall from the first case of this game, that thing should look very familiar. Of course, actually, it's inside of Phoenix's digestive tract, or it should have been digested by now. Oh my goodness, he must have had terrible stomach pain from that. Could you imagine trying to digest something like that? This little bottle and a necklace is your memento? It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Because it needs poison, Your Honor. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No! I don't know why I keep, for some reason, whenever I do Edgeworth, I keep wanting to go into, Godot's voice for some reason. Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it. I still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls? Did he just... That's enough. Please, did he just... No! Are you... A witness? He... Dahlia Hawthorne! Oh my... Dahlia! She probably broke out of... I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens, that we can't trust each other no more, then... Dahlia, I'm gonna choke you. We're supposed to drink bottle. No! Stop the trial! Your Honor! We need a recess! I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this. No! We're so close! Just a little more! I was going to prove your innocence! No. Don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia. Again. Mr. Falls! Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee. Mr. Falls! I was expecting that to auto-advance for some reason. Are you... And so my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. So I guess this explains how Edgeworth managed to keep a perfect trial. He was so close, but... Are you kidding? Dahlia frickin' Hawthorne! I hate that witch. Dahlia Hawthorne. You see, this is why I... Ladies and gentlemen, you see, this is why I hate that person so much. Dirty frickin' witch... Using that charm of hers. This could have just as easily happened to Phoenix, too. He was... Dahlia, there's only one thing. We need to put you in solitary confinement and just leave you there for like 80 years. Come back after you died and your skeleton is there, and then burn the skeleton, then burn it, and then... I don't even know. What would you do with it? You won't want to pour it in the ocean because you don't want the fish to swim in the same water as her nastiness. You don't want to put it into the ground because, you know, if you pour it in the ground, you know, that'll give birth to life. And we don't want life coming from that evilness. It'll cause like a tree to come and develop superpowers and start killing everybody. So, basically what I'm trying to say is, Dahlia, you just need to just stop existing. Someone just needs to get like a magic or like a giant pencil like in that episode of SpongeBob and just erase her. That's what they need to do. Anyway, and so my first trial ended. Suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul, I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Unforgivable, that witch. See? Witch! I tell you. Mr. Armando! We were so close to the truth, it was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault! It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself! Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty. I knew it! I knew it wasn't cut out for this! Mia. The Godot theme? A smooth criminal. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Mr. Armando! No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. Is this him saying this? His mouth's not moving. Alright, now we're back to Phoenix. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Only after that did Dolly Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least that's what I thought at that time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. Episode 4, Turnabout Beginnings. The end. Gee, I was not expecting that. You just freaking, wow! Just bit right into that. You're just like, oh man. The moment that I saw that blood coming out of his mouth, I knew it was over. A brand new episode has been added. Alright, I guess I was going to say, well, I guess we can go ahead and start off the next episode and give you guys a sneak preview for what's to come. I just can't. What? Each. Talia Hawthorne. Bridge to the turnabout. A bridge, you say? Interesting. Episode 5, Bridge to the Turnabout. What? Is that? Okay. Shichishito. The treasured Kurain village heirloom, whose name means seven-branched sword. It is said that this sacred sword represents itself. Though the branches may appear to be infinite, the choice is limitless. It has an end. Like our destinies, the sword comes to but one end, one merciless point. And when the silver cord, the fragile thread that binds us to this world, is severed, the illusion is revealed and the implacability of fate is finally laid bare. Implacability. February 6th, 9:48 a.m., Wright & Company Law Offices. Hey, Nick! Yeah? What is it? You know how I've got spiritual powers, unlike you? Sure. You are a spirit medium, after all. But just like you, if I don't keep my powers sharp, they get dull, right? I guess so, yeah. Glad you agree! Okay, Pearly, you're up! Pearls? So, that's why we need to go to a special spiritual hotspot tour, Mr. Nick! Huh? I'm lost. What's this magazine you're shoving into my face? It's the New Year's issue of Oh Cult! Winter Spiritual, Location Special! I guess I'll be the random Japanese word that we teach you for the recording session. The word for winter is fuyu. Fuyu. Like, you might hear, like, the Fuyu Yasumi, which is like, winter break and whatnot. It's just one of those things. And like New Year's actually, well there's a couple of different words for it, but like the New Year's celebration as a whole is, what is it? Oshogatsu, which is, it's, the New Year type thing. Anyway, I just randomly had... Anyway. It's the New Year's issue of Oh Cold Winter Spiritual Lunch Location Special. Oh, Pearls looks so happy. Maximize your spiritual powers with just one night of intensive training. Oh, it sounds too good to be true. I'll say, it sounds more like a scam to me. It's at a spiritual retreat called Hazakura Temple. It's way up in the mountains, and I bet it's nice and cold, just perfect for training. Now I definitely don't want to go. You know, I think I've heard of this temple before. It's a famous channeling dojo. It's hard for even real spirit mediums like us to make reservations up there. Reservations? For a temple? Are you serious? Don't worry, I've already made special reservations just for us. Yeah, and I signed up for the special course. That's nice, and the timing couldn't be better. Since we don't have a case right now anyway. Alrighty then, it's settled. Well, come on, don't just stand there. Start packing your stuff. Yes, Mr. Nick, you better start packing your stuff. Huh? Me? Why do I have to go? Well, we have to be accompanied by someone over 20 years old. Maya, shouldn't you be... Hold on. She was 16, 17, she's only 18 actually, now that I think about it, right? Or I thought she... No, actually, no, she's not only 18, she should be 19 at the moment. She hasn't had her birthday yet, though, so... Someone over 20 years old! Hey, I don't have anything to do with spirit power! The only thing I can channel is a TV! So, is there a heated pool at this Hazakura temple? No, but you can stand under a freezing waterfall! That would be perfect for Maya, since she needs to train! Why haven't you been under a freezing waterfall yet, Maya? Sorry, but I think I'll pass. I hate cold places. What? No way! How can you be so selfish? Come on, Mr. Nick, look at this place! Doesn't it look beautiful? Nope, not going. I'm gonna be nice and toasty at home. What the... What is it, Mr. Nick? Let me see that magazine. This nun. Is she a friend of yours or something, Nick? She's a friend of nobody, Maya. This girl. It's... My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be in your noble presence. Honestly, how can any woman... Oh, no, it's... Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? You disgust me. But it can't be. She was found guilty and should still be in prison. Mr. Nick? I'll go. Huh? Hazakura Temple. I said I'll go. Yay! Isn't that great, Pearly? Clearly they can't detect the edge in my voice. Yes! Oh, thank you, Mr. Nick! You'd do anything for Mr. Maya, right? Even walk over burning coals, right? Oh, cool. New Year's issue it received from Pearls. Dahlia Hawthorne. I knew there was no way she could possibly be at that temple. But I just had to see for myself who this nun really was. February 7th, 3:24 p.m., Hazakura Temple main gate. That's an interesting set of kanji there. It's too low res for me to read, but anyway. It's so cold here, Nick! And I guess that's where we'll end things off. Here. So, now we got case 5. So I knew that case 4 was going to be pretty short. Just because, like, since we went straight into, like, the courtroom, like, without doing an investigation, I figured that we weren't going to do, like, a full investigation. And once we got to the halfway mark, I was like, yeah, I feel like this isn't going to be very short. I knew that we were going to be able to finish this court case up in this session, actually. Now we're in case 5. Dahlia Hawthorne. Man, do I hate that witch. She's absolutely terrible. There's nothing good that I can say about her. And it's just like, no. She should just stop existing. So clearly, I guess she's like the main, like, cause normally, like, each game is like a main prosecutor, right? Like, this game included being Godot, but Godot isn't really like the main menace in this, right? It's it definitely seems to be Dahlia, which is quite interesting, because, like, usually like, the main menace is some type of prosecutor some way. Like, in the first game, it was Edgeworth for a little bit, but then the real main menace was Manfred von Karma. The second game was Lady von Karma. Edgeworth was, like, the prosecutor for the fifth case, but, like, he wasn't really, like, a menace. He was on her side. Yeah, wasn't it really, like, a main menace for the fifth case, for the second game? I guess you could say von Karma, but, like, yeah, I guess so. In this game, it's definitely Dahlia Hawthorne. I honestly didn't know that she was gonna have this important of a role, this much of a role in this game. Like, I knew that we were gonna see her again because, you know, when she was when we got the guilty verdict, she was smiling, right? So, you know, she knew that she was going to be okay for some reason. So, I just didn't expect her to be. That's interesting, actually. Dahlia Hawthorne. You see, this is one of those moments where I wish I had, like, I wish I could get people to do, like, fan art and just do, like, Dahlia Hawthorne with, like, devil horns and just, like, blood coming out of her mouth, just, like, evil. If I ever got that, I would definitely feature that off. But anyway, whatever the case would be, yeah, the whole poll for, like, Team Strawberry should, I guess, still technically be up at this point. But at present, you know, Team Strawberry is beating, what is it? Team Strawberry is beating, the Elven Brotherhood, and honestly, I don't think that's going to change. So, I guess I might as well just start saying, the Team Strawberry thing then, huh? So, without further ado, yeah, if you like this video or this series of videos, please feel free to leave a like. If you thought it was cool, please feel free to subscribe and join Team Strawberry today. Also, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/MegaShadowFist. I'll be sure to leave that in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and this is MegaShadowFist signing out. Bye!